Today we are saying enough is enough. We do not want any more fossil fuel infrastructure. We want clean energy, and we want to show up as a community for it. One of the youth leaders who has inspired me to take action repeatedly, to continue to wake up every day because she continues to show up, is Haven Coleman. If y'all don't know, Haven Coleman has been striking since back in December, and she's shown up weekly. Despite rain, sun, shine, you name it, she continues to show up, and she continues to keep coming. So guess what? Give it a big round of applause for Haven Coleman.
Hi. This is an amazing turnout. I'm sorry, I'm really happy. Thank you all for being here. I'm Haven Coleman. I'm 13 years old. I'm a climate activist and a student here in Denver Public Schools. When I was 10, I started speaking out and educating others about the climate crisis. Then on January 4th of this year, after seeing Greta's strikes making a difference, and after trying a lot of different ways of trying to get people to start acting out, I started my weekly school strike at the Capitol, so like way over there somewhere. Okay.
All the way upon it.
Sorry. Soon after this, I founded U.S. Youth Climate Strike that helped bring the strike movement across the U.S. on March 15th. I now coordinate for Fridays for Future U.S. Thank you, Greta, for striking with us in Denver today. Sitting here, well, like right over there, for weeks alone, I've really dreamt of having where my global friends sit with me, so this is really, really fun. Before I introduce our amazing panel, I have to say something. To the adults in power, you have the chance to do the right thing, but you won't. Science is under attack. As the climate crisis worsens, the threats to scientific fact accelerates. Why do you tolerate lawless behavior and corruption? Why do you look away, lie, and act as if rotting of our decency and justice is too big for you to take on? Because it's not, so act. Altering scientific testimony, disbanding committees, playing take-backs on regulations, debunking weather forecasters, downplaying risks is gross behavior. It's beyond lame. It's desperation and the end of freedom as we know it. You must act and protect the integrity of science. Science consensus will not be bent to your political views. The world sees your transgression and it'll soon be forgivable. And to the adults who just don't get it, you scold us for missing school, tell us that we are ruining our lives, our future, that we just want an excuse to be absent. Do you know how boring striking is? Unless it's like this, it's dead boring. Like, I made a friend with a moth the other day. Like, it's boring. How much school piles up when you're gone. We all really want to be in class rather than doing this. You need to understand that we are striking to protect our future. The future that you want us to have. One that you were guaranteed, the one that we were falsely promised. Your inaction requires our reaction. Our therapy is the fight. Let us do this. You need, let me ask you this though. Why do other people's children not matter to you? Why do you only care about your own child getting ahead? Your character is showing and it is not pretty. Your mind is obsessed with property rights and accumulation, at the expense of many. Economic success that helps you today but hurts and kills people. Ecosystems and our well-being both today and tomorrow is not success, it's failure. You have failed. We have the right to a livable planet. What will it take for you to act on behalf of all the world's children? What will it take? Uncomfortable is supposed to be sat with, not hidden from view. Sit with this. What will it take? The future you are setting us up for is bounded and bleak. Invest in us now, all of us children. Tell your elected officials you want them to protect your air and water, that you believe in the science and that you know that climate change is fact. By doing this, you will lock future change and economic stability and unlock world boundless for the children of tomorrow to create. And there's one more thing too. Some of us youth activists are trapped as a symbol for others yearning for a better world, seeing us as the solution to the problem so that they themselves don't have to lift a finger. Please, our hard work does not absolve you of action. There is so much more left. We can't do it all. Adults, you need to step up and step in. If everyone here today commits to join the fight or continues to fight, doesn't give up, we will build a future that we want here in Colorado, that we want here in the U.S. Where were you when the chance to make a difference called? You're here now. Step up. And now we are going to hear from frontline youth that have been on the ground, some for generations, fighting climate change and its devastating effects. Without the work of radical frontline youth and women, change such as abolishment of slavery, American Indian, and the civil rights movement would not have been possible. Please join me in welcoming our amazing Colorado Climate Strike panelists. Woo!
I would like to give a special round of applause to our panelists. These 6 individuals are absolutely amazing and inspiring, and I think you guys will, we have a pretty great lineup, so I think y'all will really, really enjoy this piece. First of all, though, we want you guys to introduce yourselves because I think you will do yourselves justice. So we're gonna start with our youngest person up here. Matvi, would you like to come up?
Good morning, everybody. I am Madhvi Chittur, 8 years old. I want to introduce myself and my advocacy efforts thus far. When I was 5 years old, I came to know about the plastic soup of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch and its affliction on the plants and animals. I really wanted to take some action, so I wrote a book titled, Is Plastic My Food? It is available at Amazon.com. It also won recognition from National Geographic. I found Madhvi for Ecoethics for my advocacy when I was 6 years of age in 2017. Then in January of 2018, I decided to meet with the US Congressman, Mr. Ed Perlmutter, and the former governor of Colorado, Mr. John Hickenlooper, to declare the month of April as Plastic and Styrofoam Pollution Awareness Month for the whole of Colorado. This year in 2019, Governor Mr. Jared Polis also supported me and declared again April as Plastic and Styrofoam Pollution Awareness Month. rains have resulted in diverting 7.6 million styrofoam trays from the landfills annually so far. I want to mention a few of my initiatives in this direction. My art sculpture, Fish or Foam, was kept on display at the Colorado State Capitol to raise awareness about styrofoam pollution to waterways, wildlife, and its impact on human health too. My art, Plastic Free Within Reach, won many recognitions. As a martial artist, teaming up with Victory Martial Arts and Master Mike Chat, the Hollywood stuntman and former Blue Power Ranger, I am taking my plastic pollution message globally to all Victory Martial Arts schools and the 220,000 member strong American Taekwondo Association. I am also a no styrofoam ninja. I have released my instrumental music album titled I Am Princess Genius, Empowering Girls, and it's available in Spotify, iTunes, etc. I request you all to buy a copy. The proceeds will be donated to fight Amazon forest fires. Amazon forest is the lungs to all of us and our planet itself. So please support the cause. Finally, I want to share with you all the less spoken about link between plastic pollution to our waterways and global warming, dumping of plastics in the ocean. Ever look in a tide pool and think nothing's living there? Try looking again. It's inhabited by millions of tiny microscopic plants and animals called phytoplankton and zooplankton, respectively. Phytoplankton produce their own food from the energy of the sun in a process called photosynthesis. But the dumping of plastics in the ocean is preventing this. In the Great Pacific Garbage Patch area, the phytoplankton is literally absent. Lesser phytoplankton means a big ecosystem collapse and lesser oxygen levels in oceans and thereby leading to the acidification of our oceans. This also is contributing to the depletion of oxygen levels in the atmosphere and directly causing climate change. Let's take action! I want everyone in this room to continuously survive to refuse, reduce, reuse, and recycle plastic, and pause and think prior to any plastic consumption to break free from plastic. I want the government to ban single-use plastics and plastic bags in the next legislative session. Let's save our only home, our planet Earth.
You good?
Give him your kit.
Give it up for Mavi. We're gonna call up our next panelist. And then just stand here.
Hello. Thank you guys all so much for coming out here again. All of you coming out here today, it really shows our power, and we're gonna keep on fighting, right? Yeah. My name's Aisha Kenil. I'm just excited to be out here, and I'll be talking with you guys later today, but yeah, thanks for coming. Hi, everybody. My name is Ellery, and I'm here to represent Sunrise Movement Colorado. Woo! We are an army of young people fighting for a livable future and a Green New Deal. And I'm here today because I believe in people power, in your power. But more than that, I believe in youth people power. Our representatives are not listening to us right now, but if numbers continue to grow like this, pretty soon they're going to have to. All right, I'm looking forward to talking with you all today, and I'm gonna hand it over to
Renee. I'm Renee Chacon, a co-founder of Women from the Mountain, a cultural educator, a teacher, and most of all, a mother. I'm here for my sons. I am here for their future. I am here to link that social justice is climate justice. I am here for missing and murdered Indigenous women, Black women, trans women, all invisible women, and those that identify as women. We need to realize that our exploited practices are not just robbing the sacred of the earth, but the sacred of our femininity, of respecting our femininity, of respecting our masculinity and the balance of both, and understanding that most of all, we cannot just overconsume without renewing, without teaching our children to renew. If you notice, I have what is called a samero, a pabosh comet, and what this really means is to clean. I'm here to clean this space. I'm here to hopefully keep it safe, and most of all, to raise our prayers for the women. And when I say prayer, I mean intention. When we say for natives prayer, intention means in how you walk, in what you say. You do not speak unless you mean what you say, and you're gonna walk that way. So when I say prayer, mean it. Omato. I hope most of all, you understand that this is our power, the uniting, the ability to bring the attention to the awareness that we need to bring the policy change that we're gonna make. We are gonna make our impression. The women are finally rising. The femininity is finally rising. And we do deserve to have our sacred back. So if you have any questions as a teacher, I would love to take them. As a mother, I know how to vent them. And if you ever need anything, know I'm simply here to clean, protect, and I hope you all are too. Omato.
Hello all, my name is Micaela Iron Shell Dominguez. I am a proud Chichango Lakota and Chicana right here from Denver, Colorado. I am a director and youth mentor for the International Indigenous Youth Council. I am also a co-founder of Women from the Mountain. I am here to be a voice and bring the awareness of missing and murdered Indigenous women and Black women. I am sick of us being erased and not having a voice. I am here to stop that. We still exist. I exist. I am here.
Can we give it up one more time for the beautiful women that came before me? So my name is Wajinguda Eli Hornick. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Oklahoma. I'm from the Ponca Nation, Osage Nation, and Oto Nations of Oklahoma. I'm also Czechoslovakian and Irish. I'm here to try to express my feelings and express what I've learned in this movement, and hopefully encourage you guys and help us recognize that wherever we're from, we can influence the change that we need. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. All right.
So to start off, I have a question for Micaela and Renee, and to talk about, we're seeing that the women are rising, and that it's very important that they're rising. And my question to you guys is, how are they playing into this whole movement? How are they playing into the change that this world is seeing?
Want to go first? All right, thank you, Marlo. Women were the first caretakers and shareholders of the first
and First Relations of this land. Women hold a power like no other. We can carry sacred water and bring life into this world. We are able to connect and listen to Mother Earth, just like we're able to connect and listen to our own body. Without women, we aren't able to exist. We are compassionate, and when we let go of ego and judgment, we're able to work together, and we're able to work together really well and bring change. Feminine leadership to me, thank you. Feminine leadership to me has no gender, and right now that is very important. The feminine is more of an energy, and it's what we need to bring to our men. I ask that our men stop hurting us. That is what I ask today. As I said before, I am a voice for our stolen and murdered sisters, our indigenous women that have been murdered and stolen centuries before I even stand here. The fact that I'm a product of genocide brings sadness, but also I am proud to be able to stand here next to my grandmother, water woman Sharon Dominguez. I think that, did I answer your question, Marla? Okay, good.
This is gonna come as harsh, but we're all the colonized and the colonizers, just like you're all male and you're female. You already come with that femininity, and when we ask for you to remember the women, we're really asking you to remember your femininity. All the women that you're connected to, all the women that you love, all the women that have taught you to be better. That's what a woman is. It's a life giver. It's a woman that teaches you to thrive. That's what that femininity is. It's that life giving. We all came from a woman, and technically I think we all are women when you're in the cells really little, like you're officially, we're a woman first, biologically. But the point is that it's that ability to thrive and sacrifice for the sake of life. You either get busy living or get busy dying, and I'm hoping that y'all are getting busy living. And a lot of mamas know what that means. That's why I'm sorry, but I'm gonna use that because I understood what that meant when I had my kid. I chose my own things, I went to school, I did all the other things for my femininity I thought I was building, but then I had my son and realized that I really know what it meant to be a mom, to understand life-giving and what that really means and the responsibility of it. And it directly relates to the earth in every way. So if you can relate to the women that you love, if you understand that life-giving sacrifice, you already understand your femininity to some degree. You can use that. You have a tool. There you go. Hope that helps.
Thank you so much, Renee. Give it up for Renee and Meek one more time. So our next question is for Mavi and Elroy. What do you feel is the most immediate threat to our Colorado community? And what are ways that you feel that we can combat that? You go, yeah. She got it.
Where should I start? Wherever I look, I see that ecosystems are collapsing and people's health are directly affected due to pollution of water, air, and soil, all caused by people themselves and their own way of living. I consider three things that are the most immediate threats to the Colorado community are 1. Plastic pollution, 2. Glyphosate contamination, and 3. PFAS and PCOS pollution to our drinking water supply and soil. I want everyone to develop a phobia for these. 4. Protection of indigenous lands. Number 1, plastic pollution. The government has to ban plastic bags, single-use plastics, and styrofoam takeout containers in the restaurants and fast food chains, and also styrofoam craft products. Common man, too, must refuse plastic and styrofoam at all levels of consumption. Number 2, glyphosate. No more popularly as Roundup is used as a weed killer and drying agent in agriculture, is killing insects, bees, etc. And this is also found in packaged foods like cereals, pasta, and in beer. It is also a deadly carcinogen. Every individual must refuse to buy Roundup, and the government must ban this right away in Colorado. Recently, Hawaii has banned it. Around 21 countries in the world have banned it. Why not Colorado? Number 3, PFAS and PCOS. Polyfluoroalkyls and polychloroalkyls, known as forever chemicals, has now contaminated our aquifers. This is an irreversible damage, and they are carcinogens. In Colorado Springs, the Whitefield aquifer is not potable anymore. Similarly, toxic PFAS hotspots have been detected across Denver Metro. I want the government to ban PFAS and PCOS on consumer products too. Many even compostable containers are now coated with PFAS to make them waterproof. Every business, health regulators, and government agencies have to be responsible to the spine and pause and think of end-to-end ecosystems effect and not talk about ever-expanding economy and convenience. Every consumer now must be more vigilant than ever before in what they consume and what they throw in the environment. We can't eat money. I once again repeat that I want everyone to develop a phobia for these. Number 4, I believe that only by inclusion one can have a sustainable planet for all. Hence, I demand that all treatises be honored protecting the indigenous lands, waters, and their sovereignty. Thank you.
All right, well, there's no one better to speak to you all about the threats to our ecosystem and our biodiversity here in Colorado and around the country. So let's give her a big round of applause. When I think about the threats that are facing us here in Colorado, I think about the political threats. We have members of the House in Colorado standing over there in the Capitol telling us that not only is our climate not changing, it's actually changing for the better. We know that that's not true, but it goes beyond that. We have primary elections for the U.S. Senate in 4 months, and we need to elect a climate champion to Colorado Senate seat. Yes, and no, that doesn't just mean electing someone who's not a climate denier. It goes so much further than that. We need someone who is committed to our communities and who is committed to getting a Green New Deal implemented for our country.
Green New Deal.
Green New Deal. Green New Deal. Green New Deal. Green New Deal. Green New Deal. Green New Deal. Green New Deal.
Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. Our next question goes to Wajingoda and Aisha. We talk a lot about climate justice and social justice. How are these two aligned?
Okay, so I want to say it again. Social justice and climate justice are totally correlated. Social justice and climate justice are literally correlated. You can see it from the people who have been taken advantage of. Minorities have been taken advantage of from the people, minorities have been taken advantage of. From our water, it's been polluted, and from indigenous lands have been taken advantage of at the expense of the minorities. And I think it's so important that like all the people here, oh my goodness. I'm so nervous. Okay, let me say it again for the people in the back. Social justice is climate justice. History has shown that people have been taken advantage of for years. For way too long. I think we're all tired of it. My friend Tomas over here, at the last strike, he said that people have been put into groups and categories, and we've all been separated. But with events like this, we can all come together, and it can show that the government cannot separate us. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll say it again like my sisters did. Climate justice is social justice. Taking care of the earth is taking care of ourselves. The earth is our mother, the earth gives us life. The earth is our source of life and a source of life for every being that we know to exist. Okay. Okay, I'm about to do a dance up here. Okay, so I come from a city in Oklahoma. It's called Ponca City. There's a refinery there. It's Conoco Phillips Route 66. We're the third largest oil tank farm in North America. Each oil tank holds about 300,000 gallons of crude oil. It leaks 3%. So I've seen that effect in our schooling, in the schools that I went to, through my elementary, the amount of friends that I've lost to cancer and to different diseases around their organs, respiratory diseases. I've seen that all the way through high school until now. Even now, my friends are sick. And our sickness comes in a lot of different forms. Our sickness comes in confusion, depression, cancer. It comes in violence. And all of these directly relate back to what we're doing to our Mother Earth, what we're doing to our mother. That's how we're related. We're related through our traumas and our pains, and we're related through the beauty that we come from. We're also related because each one of us lives on this earth, and it's our obligation to take care of it. It's our responsibility to take care of it and to take care of each other. The people that we've seen affected the most by the decisions that are being made by these corporations, by these people, the people that are being affected firsthand. Sorry, I'm just kind of tripping out. The people that are being affected firsthand are POC, people of color, our black and brown women, our LGBTQ community, the people that are having to fight and claw for their voice to be heard every single day. That's who these people target. They put the refinery on the south side of our town because that's where the people of color were. That's where our indigenous tribes were. I'm not gonna talk too much more. I don't wanna take up a lot of space, but yeah, it's up to us to take care of each other. It's up to us to encourage each other, to uplift each other. It's up to us to take care of the earth.
I also want to mention that it's also the banks right? It's the banks that are a big reason why climate justice is social justice, because the same banks that are funding all of these resource extractive industries are the same banks that are funding the man camps that are responsible for our missing and murdered Indigenous women. They're the same banks that are funding our ICE camps that are locking up and stealing our migrant women. They're the same banks that are funding the prisons that are locking up our Black women and murdering them unjustly. All of this is correlated. You cannot talk about social justice without talking about climate justice, and you can't talk about climate justice without talking about racism. So we have some young people that have some questions for you guys as well. They're for you, each one of you individually. Can I actually get everyone to just scream really loud one more time? The energy's a little low. Woo! Beautiful. All right. No, you're last.
So I just want to say that this is a beautiful crowd, absolutely beautiful. And my question today is for Miss Aisha. Since we have such a beautiful crowd full of open ears right now, I just want to hear what takeaways you have for everyone in the crowd and how you want people to carry out their action after today. So one thing that I want you all to know is that you have power. I feel like it's so important for you guys to realize that the potential you have. And like just coming out today, it realizes like how much that the people care about this issue, and it's so important. And there aren't that many events like this where so many diverse people can come together and show how much you care for this. So do as much as you can, call out to politicians, lobby, especially just calling out to politicians and telling them what you want them to know. Yeah, just always remember that you always have power. I know it's really hard to get out here and do things like this, but don't doubt your potential. The first step is showing up, and y'all did it. So give yourselves a big round of applause.
All right, so I got a question from Mikaela. So my question is, as an Indigenous person, what gives you inspiration despite being unheard?
That's easy. My existence. I am constantly fighting for my existence. Better? You guys hear me now? Yes, awesome. I'm gonna give you a little, just an example of that. A few days ago with my sister, Sarah, who's here, we were at the airport, and a man came up to us and asked if we were Filipino or Polynesian or something beautiful. But it hurt me because never, ever have I once been asked from a stranger, are you Native American? Are you Lakota? Are you Chishangu? I want to hear that one day, and I will, and my children will, and my great-grandchildren will, because I am fighting for that today. I am fighting for our existence every single day.
Okay. All right. I have a question for, I guess, Ellery or anyone I'm sure could answer this, but how can the youth change the narrative of fracking in Colorado?
So this is such an important question, and I think the first thing we need to remember is often we think about the environmental effects of fracking as something that will affect future generations, but it is affecting our frontline communities in Colorado right now. Yes, as we move forward, if we continue developing oil and natural gas at the rate we are right now in Colorado, wildfires will increase. We won't have enough clean water to sustain us. But right now, our communities, our indigenous communities, and people of color are being affected the most by fracking in Colorado and around the country. So remembering that is the first thing. And the second thing is taking our people power and turning that into political power. Yes. Just because you are not of age to vote yet doesn't mean that your representatives don't have to listen to your voice. And that means whenever you can get into the room with a politician, no matter they be a state politician, a city council member, you need to tell them why stopping fracking and stopping the development of oil and natural gas in Colorado is essential to making sure that our generation has a future, and you need to take whatever privilege you have as based on gender or sexuality, socioeconomic status, and whatever rooms that allows you to be in and speak on these issues that matter.
Can I add to that?
Is that okay?
A big word is accountability. You have to seriously hold your local areas accountable just the same. You have to be involved. And even as youth, you can bug your parents. My children do bother me when they learned about their local water resources and what's happening to them, and that scares them. And it does scare me as a mom because they're waiting an issue they didn't even contribute to. So it does make it apparent that it's not just the youth, but the families themselves that have to be accountable. So in order for, as often I see people say, well, it's just the indigenous. All of us are indigenous to some degree. So we have to keep in mind that in order for there to be a narrative of forgiveness, you have to be forgivable. You have to hold those areas accountable that they're actually changing. You go to those city areas. You go to who's contributing in your area to your local water resources being exploited and start from there. And you'll keep going and going and going and going. So accountability.
To change, we need all of us to speak up in front of the whole world, the government, for this change to happen.
Thank you.
My question is for Renee. My name is Eric Nottingham. I'm 18. I'm a freshman at CSU. There's a lot of talk about how we can divest CSU and our public institutions, similar to how the California universities were divested. My question to you is, how can we as a movement maintain long-term pressure on companies, universities, and public institutions and banks to divest from fossil fuels and hold them accountable through the process?
That's an awesome question. A lot of our campuses are privately owned to some degree. So you need to hold them just as accountable. They're not working necessarily for your public education if you're paying as much as you are and you're not reaping any rewards other than basically an education that kind of sort of might get you a part-time job. So you're already paying for an education you're not even being able to use, not even in the way you want to use. So you have to hold your institutions accountable. You have to go to those deans. You have to go to those areas. You have to go why they're privately funded. You have to understand literally the logistics. And I'm sorry for the youth, because even though I'm a little bit kind of younger, but I'm sorry you have the responsibility to have to hold others accountable that others before you didn't. So you have to make sure that you're going to who's contributing to your campus and who's not. I went to CU and it was very apparent who was contributing and who's not. And if you go there, it's still not as diverse as it should be. Colorado is not an English name. We need to recognize that people cross borders And a lot of us are already diverse, even if you don't look it. You have the right to have your narrative and your identity ingrained starting at your campuses. You are the American identity because of your diversity. And that's what campuses, that's what schools, that's what knowledge was supposed to teach to begin with. That's why it should have been free. But that's a whole other thing. So I hope that helps as, again, accountability down to the privatization of your schools.
Hi, my name is Anna, and after Standing Rock, we saw a need for Indigenous leadership in our movement. What are some ways non-Indigenous allies can honor in a respectful way, but an empowering way?
For this, I want you to set a goal and to have a commitment to stop this climate change.
Does anyone answer it first? Yeah. Go ahead.
So talking about allyship, I'm gonna go back to holding ourselves accountable. Accountable to pay attention to ourselves, to be self-vigilant to the things that we say, the things that we're doing, and how much space we're consuming. Also, to make us feel empowered, to make us feel heard, maybe bring us to the table when we're making decisions about things that are going on in our homelands that have been ours for millions of years, that millions of people have lived a beautiful life here, and now things are changing because we wasn't brought to the table. Whenever we're organizing different events or different propositions, we're not brought to the table. We're not brought into that process. We're not asked. A lot of times prior, we would be here, I would be standing here, we would welcome you to our land and sing a song, and that's not what we're way more than that. That's not what my people are here for. That's not what my people have been here for. We lived a beautiful life here on this land, cultivating it, living in a beautiful relationship with it, and surviving off of it. So one thing that we could do to help empower our voice is bring our Indigenous peoples to the table. Let's not shame each other for being brown or being different. Like my sister said, we're all Indigenous to somewhere. All of us come from this earth somewhere. That's what makes us beautiful. This has messed me. I'm sorry. I'm probably ruining y'all's ears. Thank you guys for listening to me. I lost my train of thought.
All right, y'all, give it up for our panelists. Thank you all so much for doing this today. Thank you for sharing your stories. Make sure you follow each one of these people because they do just as much badass work as Greta is doing. So once again, who's ready to see Greta? Well, don't worry, she's coming. She's coming, I swear, I put it on everything, she's coming. But before we do that, we just want to go ahead and introduce give you guys a little bit of entertainment, kind of set the mood, kind of, get some energy moving. So please give it up for one of our youth, Esperanza Soledad Garcia. Sorry, sis, stay up here.
Hello, everybody. Can I get a hiya? Hiya! What's up, everybody? Dear Jerica Amada, you are a physical embodiment of sunshine. You are 7-year-old coyote eyes and white corn-tooth giggles. Your spirit is as bright as your squeaky light-up shoes. You are so excited for your big prima to come and visit you to walk along sequía. This poem that I'm saying right now is about my little cousin named Jerica Amada. And I heard Diego say my name, so shout out. My prima is very beautiful. She's a small, young little girl, and every time that I see her, she warms my being. She lives in Albuquerque, Nuevo Mexico, and at the moment we're in drought. And I'm here to say the rest of this poem. My name is Esperanza Soledad Garcia. My people are from Nuevo Mexico. I am Genizaro, and I am a human being. Dear Jerica Amada, I'd like to tell you something about that old river. Scientists say that one day these lands will reach an unbearable drought, that there will be no food for the yuca, trout, piñon, chapulín, or mountain lions. They will pray for the clouds to bless them and rid them of this arid air. They say that wildfires will torment your afternoon naps and leave you with scorched, burning skin. Científicos dicen que pedacitos de petróleo y carbón van a quemar a tus raíces. Dicen que fuegos van a quemar a tus hojas, tu cuerpo y tus cabellos. They say that your vessel will return to the earth in which you came. In your dream visions, you'll feel the nurturing arms of Tonantzin. But know that it will be the greedy hands of governments that will sell your ashes by the handfuls. Dear Jerica Amada, please don't cry. Instead, listen to the silences. Listen to la creadora, Tonantzin, Mother Earth, and Black women. Listen to her as she cleanses herself of this disease. The dollars that we spend every day are our true votes and reflect our true values. Support those who only will support you back. As my relative here, Tomas, said, support only those in community that will support you back. Therefore, recycle the money in your community. Boycott Wells Fargo, Walmart, Kroger's, Tyson Chicken, the ICE detention centers, Nike, Shell, fascism, Target, Wendy's. To the nations of Nigeria, the Maori, Indonesia, plant, mineral, animal, and all poor in dollar. I am grateful for this opportunity to acknowledge you in this unifying moment. We are all here today, pushing for our fellow human beings to stop the fossil fuel addiction, to stop the throwaway nation that has the itch to snort lines of white coral and stuff bowls of densely packed forests, only to blow it back in our faces. Try to find a good place. On behalf of this society that has no respect for the earth, nor air, nor water, I apologize. I apologize that those who contribute the least pay the most. We are drawing the line here. Dear Jerica Amada, you are so soft for someone who must be so strong. Your strength gives me power to fight for you, me, and our futures. We are not waiting any longer. And even though our so-called politicians hide behind white false teeth, are paid to say that wildfires, earthquakes, tidal waves don't exist, who are paid to say that climate change doesn't exist, who are paid to say that climate refugees don't exist, who are paid to say that we don't exist. Still, there are those who see us. There are those that hands are reaching out. Hold hands. Hold hands. Everybody hold the person next to you. Hold their hand. Get real close and intimate with your fellow human beings. Love your human being. Stay with your holding hands. Everybody be holding somebody's hand. Stay holding their hand. Still, there are those who see us. There are those their hands are reaching out, fists raising up. And we are niños caminando la sequía. We are the children walking our rivers. We are the radiance of solar villages. We are the clean soil of our farmers' past. We are teenagers blooming petitions. We are families biking, recycling, reusing. We are engineers building, dreaming, designing. We are artists painting, dancing, and writing. And we are spreading the word. And there are thousands of us today on the streets, marching, chanting for climate justice now! Keep them up, keep them up! And they are marching for you, Jerica. They are marching for us. Because we deserve to do so much more than just survive. We deserve to thrive. Dear Jerica Amada, you are eyes heavy with drowsy weight. So just close those eyes and sleep in peace, because we won't let you down. You'll see. Thank you so much. All of you are here for a reason today. Thank you to Creadora for bringing our footsteps here today. Gracias. Me llamo Esperanza Soledad. You can follow me on Pozole to go on Instagram. Bendiciones.
Give it up for Esperanza. We're gonna bring this to a conclusion now. So a lot of you probably see all of these black and red dresses up here, and you probably see that we have handprints over our mouths. You probably saw on the poster, that's how it was. So we do this for our black and our indigenous and migrant women that have gone missing and who are murdered. We do this for all of the missing and murdered indigenous women, the migrant women who are locked up in our ICE facilities, and our black women who have been killed by police while in police custody. If you walk up to each one of these dresses, and you'll see them in Denver over the course of the next year, you could be able to read a name of a woman that has been missing, that is missing or has been murdered. So now, to conclude this, I'm going to pass this to my sister Marlo.
All right, y'all, this is a moment that I want you guys to think about. You know, you guys came out here, and I hope that you all thought about why you're doing this. Because without the why are we even showing up today? This is not for the photo op or for the Instagram followers to say, oh, hey, I showed up today. No, I'm sorry. Y'all better have a reason for why you're going to show up today and why you're going to show up forever. We're going to be having a minute and 11 seconds to represent the time that we have to act on climate change and the time that we will continue to show up as a community because we will have a future. If it's up to us, we will have a future. So I need you all to get out your phones, and I need you to set a timer for 1 minute and 11 seconds. Actually, let's do it 1 minute and 10 seconds because we're kind of losing time, not gonna lie. And when I count down to 11, you're all gonna press the start button and we're gonna go silent to explain that this is gonna be intentional every step of the way. Are y'all ready? All right. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, I'm Micah Parkin with 350 Colorado. This is Maya and Mariah. We want y'all to sing with us, okay? So this first song goes like this. It's easy to pick up. People gonna rise like the waters, gonna calm this crisis down. I hear the voices of my great-granddaughters saying keep fossil fuels in the ground. People gonna rise like the waters, gonna calm this crisis down. I hear the voices of my great-granddaughters saying keep fossil fuels in the ground. Let me hear y'all. People gonna rise like the waters, gonna calm this crisis down. I hear the voices of my great-granddaughters saying keep fossil fuels in the ground. One more time. People gonna rise like the waters, gonna calm this crisis down. I hear the voices of my great-granddaughters saying keep fossil fuels in the ground. Woo! All right. Thank you, everybody. We've got one more. We're gonna rise up till it's won. We're gonna rise up till it's done. When the people rise up, where the powers come down. When the people rise up, where the powers come down. They try to stop us, but we keep coming back. They try to stop us, but we keep coming back. We're gonna rise up till it's won. We're gonna rise up till it's won. When the people rise up, where the powers come down. When the people rise up, where the powers come down. They try to stop us, but we keep coming back. They rise up till it's won. We're gonna rise up till it's done. When the people rise up,
When the people rise up,
well, the powers come down.
and the powers come down.
When the people rise up,
When the people rise up,
well, the powers come down.
when the powers come down.
They try to stop us, but we keep coming back. They try to stop us, but we keep coming back. We're gonna rise up till it's won. We're gonna rise up till it's won. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you. Climate action now. We can do it. Thank you.
Can we give just a round of applause for just everything and right now the energy? I hope y'all are feeling it the way I'm feeling it up here because I'm like crying. It's fine. But anyways, I hope y'all in that moment of silence you were thinking about this future and why you're here and what you're doing, because there's a person that I had the honor and privilege to sit next to one day. And this young girl, she sat there with so much composure and so selfless. And I realized in that moment that this is a selfless movement. That the only way that we can work together as a community is if we have no ego and that we show up together, because it's not me, it's we. Let's say it one more time. It's not me, it's we. We didn't show up here today just because. We showed up for the earth and for one another because we are humanity and we can change things. Wow. Greta? Greta embodies this. This is not just for her image, because she says, listen to the scientists. She's standing up for our future. She's standing with us. And I have the privilege and honor of welcoming her to the stage today. Give it up for Greta Thunberg.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming today. It is so amazing to see all of you. It's just so much people everywhere you look, and it's very overwhelming. Thank you so much for coming, every one of you. It is so great to be here in Denver, in Colorado, with all of you. So much nice people. Everyone is so wonderful. Thank you so much. We recognize we are on indigenous land of Arapaho and Cheyenne. Yes, this is real hope.
This what we are seeing right now. This is the hope, the people. This is a movement with millions upon millions of people telling world leaders to act on the science, and we are demanding a safe future for everyone. And that is not something you can continue to ignore. It is we young people and future generations who are going to suffer the most from the climate and ecological crisis. It should not be up to us to take the responsibility, but since the leaders are behaving like children, then we have no other choice. The older generations are failing us, and the political leaders are failing us. But we will be watching and holding them accountable. We will make sure they will not get away with continuing like now. Because we, as young people, are tired of constantly being betrayed by those who are supposed to work for our greater good. We are here because we care about the future, about what we one day will leave after us. And the political leaders can't seem to think beyond the next election, and that needs to come to an end. For well over a year, young people from all around the world have been striking from school every Friday, demanding world leaders to take this responsibility and to unite behind the science. They have not done that. The people in power continue to ignore us and to ignore the current best available science. How dare they? How dare they leave this mess for their own children to clean up and solve? How dare they pretend that they are doing enough when the politics needed are still nowhere in sight? How dare they ignore the countless of people all around the world who are suffering and dying today because of the climate and ecological crisis and the ecosystems that are being destroyed? They are indeed not mature enough to tell it like it is, so we will do it for them. We still have this in our own hands, but to do our best is no longer good enough. We all need to do the seemingly impossible. We didn't start school striking because we wanted to. We didn't do it because we wanted to gain attention or because it was fun. We did it because someone needs to do something. And that someone could be me, it could be you, or anyone in this crowd. You don't have to wait for someone else to do something. No one is too small to make a difference. Never forget that. And we will go on every Friday for as long as it takes. The next big global strike is November 29th. And we must prepare ourselves to go on for a very long time, unfortunately. But that will not stop us. We are rising and we will not back down. We will not beg the people in power to care and to act, because they have ignored us in the past and they will ignore us again. We will instead tell them that if they won't do it, then we will. The world is waking up, and we are the change. And change is coming whether you like it or not. Thank you once again so much, and continue the fight. Don't give up.
A warrior. Thank you for being a land defender and a water protector.
All right, y'all. Okay, so we're going to be doing a little photo moment because, I mean, we have to show that we all showed up today, I guess. So, yeah, so if you're on stage, if you can go this way, then we can, like, see your beautiful faces and everything. The youth, you know, come up. We need the little, yes.